Have you ever wondered what happened to those forgotten department stores from our childhood? In this video, I'll take you on a journey through 20 forgotten department stores that are no longer around. From Woolworths counters to Ames's unbeatable deals, you'll discover why these stores were so important and how they vanished from the map. Stick around until the end for a nostalgic trip that will make you remember those family shopping days like they were yesterday. Woolworths. Woolworths was everywhere. It wasn't just a place to shop, it was a part of everyday life. Founded in 1879, it became famous for its 5 and dime model, where you could buy almost anything for just a few cents. Need school supplies? Woolworths had it. Candy? Of course. You could even grab a pet goldfish or parakeet. And who could forget those iconic lunch counters? A grilled cheese and soda for less than $1. It was where everyone gathered, especially during the holidays. At its peak, Woolworths had over 2,000 stores worldwide. It was a pioneer in making shopping accessible to the middle class, and it even sold the first ever Christmas tree lights in the 1920s. The layout was always the same, wide aisles packed with goods, and that nostalgic smell of popcorn. Woolworths was where many Americans experienced their first taste of consumer culture. But what people may not remember is Woolworth's role in the 1960 Greensboro sit-ins. 4 black students protested segregation by sitting at the Woolworths whites-only counter, sparking a nationwide movement. By the 1980s, the charm wore off. Big box stores like Walmart undercut prices, and Woolworths didn't keep up. Its failure to adapt was its downfall, and by 1997, it was gone. Montgomery Ward.
Hey, I'm a believer.
Montgomery Ward, Montgomery Ward, a brand new savings store.
Montgomery Ward was the Amazon of its time, no exaggeration. Founded in 1872, it was the first company to offer mail order catalogs, delivering everything from furniture to farming tools directly to people's homes. Imagine receiving a catalog with over 10,000 items in the 19th century. For rural families, it was a game changer. If you needed a new stove or winter coat, you didn't have to leave your house. Just flip through the Montgomery Ward catalog. By the early 1900s, Montgomery Ward stores popped up across the US, and it became a household name. The company was known for high-quality products at reasonable prices, and their catalog was so popular that it was dubbed the Wish Book. During the Great Depression, they even supported farmers by offering low-cost equipment, making them a trusted brand in tough times. But few people know that Montgomery Ward also played a role in World War II by helping the government with supplies. It wasn't just a retailer, it was part of America's backbones. So what happened? By the 1980s, competitors like Sears and the rise of shopping malls hit hard. Montgomery Ward was slow to embrace modern retail trends, and mismanagement led to its decline. After 128 years, it closed its doors for good in 2001. If you're curious about Montgomery Ward, we've got a full video on the channel that covers the store's entire history, from its rise to its fall. You can find it in the card above, but don't cheat. Watch this video all the way through first. Gimbals.
Ah, the holidays. Time for good cheer, friends, and Gimbals' $2,000 shopping spree.
Gimbals wasn't just another department store, it was a retail legend. Founded in 1842, Gimbals quickly became known for its motto, Gimbals has it. And it truly did. From high-end fashion to everyday essentials, Gimbals was a shopping destination for millions. The store's flagship location in New York City was massive, spanning an entire block. If you wanted the latest trends or a unique gift, Gimbals was the place to be. What really set Gimbals apart? The annual Thanksgiving Day Parade, which started in the 1920s, long before Macy's took over the holiday tradition. Gimbals was also the first department store to advertise on television, always ahead of the curve in retail innovation. And here's something not everyone knows. Gimbals had a fierce rivalry with Macy's, so much so that the phrase, "Does Macy's tell Gimbals?" became a popular saying to describe competition and secrecy in business. But despite its success, the tide turned in the 1970s. Gimbals struggled to modernize and keep up with the evolving retail landscape. Shoppers began flocking to malls and discount stores, leaving Gimbals behind. By 1986, after over 140 years of business, Gimbals shuttered its doors, becoming a nostalgic memory for those who knew it well. Marshall Field's.
Marshall Field's Field Day Sale. This one is really big.
Marshall Field's was the definition of luxury shopping in America. Founded in 1852 in Chicago, it wasn't just a store, it was an experience. Field's became famous for its impeccable customer service, coining the phrase, "the customer is always right." The flagship store on State Street was a wonder, featuring elegant architecture, stunning window displays, and the iconic Tiffany glass ceiling. Shopping there felt more like visiting a grand palace than a department store. Marshall Field's was also ahead of its time in retail innovation. In 1881, it introduced the first ever in-store restaurant, the Walnut Room, a tradition that carried on for decades, especially during the holidays when families would gather around the massive Christmas tree. Few people remember this, but Marshall Field's was the first to offer bridal registries, revolutionizing the way weddings were planned. It also had a hand in creating the modern department store layout, focusing on making shopping a pleasant and luxurious experience. But the store's long reign came to an end after a series of ownership changes. Macy's eventually bought Marshall Field's in 2005, rebranding it entirely. The decision caused an uproar among loyal customers who felt the loss of a Chicago icon. By 2006, the Marshall Field's name was gone, leaving behind a legacy of class and sophistication. Mervyn's.
You'll find lots of great gift ideas at Mervyn's today.
Mervyn's was the go-to department store for families looking for affordable, stylish clothes and home goods. Founded in 1949 in California, it quickly gained popularity by offering great deals without sacrificing quality. Unlike higher-end stores, Mervyn's found its niche in middle-class America, providing everything from back-to-school outfits to holiday decorations at reasonable prices. Walking into a Mervyn's felt casual and comfortable, yet you could always find a hidden gem or a sale that made the trip worth it. Mervyn's was particularly known for its famous Super Saturday sales, where bargain hunters could score steep discounts. It also had a strong regional presence, especially on the West Coast, with over 200 stores by the 1980s. People loved it for being a step above discount stores, but still budget-friendly. What most people don't know is that Target owned Mervyn's for over a decade, using it as a middle-market alternative to its discount chains. But in the early 2000s, Mervyn's struggled with competition from stores like Kohl's and JCPenney, which offered similar products at lower prices. After a series of ownership changes and financial missteps, Mervyn's couldn't keep up. In 2008, the chain filed for bankruptcy and closed all of its stores, leaving many with fond memories of affordable fashion and family shopping trips. Bonton.
Your fashion store. The Bonton.
Bonton was more than just a department store. It was a regional staple in the Midwest and Northeast for over a century. Founded in 1898 in York, Pennsylvania, Bonton started as a small dry goods store before expanding into a full-scale department store, offering everything from clothing to home furnishings. It wasn't flashy like some of the bigger national chains, but it had a loyal customer base who loved its reliable selection and hometown feel. What set Bonton apart were its frequent sales and coupons, making it a favorite for bargain shoppers. The store was especially known for its semi-annual Goodwill sale, where customers could donate clothing in exchange for discounts. It was a win-win. People could declutter and get a great deal on new items, while Bonton donated the clothes to charity. A lesser-known fact, Bonton was originally a family-run business for much of its early history, maintaining a personal touch that larger chains often lacked. However, like many mid-sized department stores, Bonton struggled to compete in the age of e-commerce and big-box retailers. By the 2010, mounting debt and slow modernization efforts took their toll. After a last-ditch effort to restructure, the company filed for bankruptcy in 2018, closing all of its remaining stores. Bonton's end marked the close of an era for many shoppers in small towns and cities across the Midwest. Hecht's.
Holiday gift giving begins with the biggest sale of the year, starting tomorrow at Hecht's.
Hecht's was a department store that once dominated the East Coast, particularly in Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. Founded in 1857 by Samuel Hecht Sr., it began as a small shop before growing into a regional powerhouse. By the mid-20th century, Hecht's was known for its wide selection of clothing, furniture, and home goods, with massive flagship stores that drew in shoppers from all over. It wasn't just a place to buy things, it was an iconic iconic part of city life, especially during the holiday season, when their window displays became a must-see attraction. One thing that set Hecht's apart was its innovation. It was the first department store to introduce revolving credit accounts, a precursor to the modern credit card, making it easier for customers to buy on credit. Hecht's also introduced the concept of suburban shopping malls in the 1950s, opening stores outside of city centers and bringing department store shopping closer to residential areas. However, despite its successes, Hecht's couldn't survive the wave of consolidations in the 1990s and early 2000s. The store was eventually acquired by May Department Stores, and later, Macy's absorbed the entire chain in 2006. Like many regional department stores, the Hecht's name disappeared, and with it, a piece of local shopping history that residents still reminisce about today: Hudson's. Hudson's was more than just Detroit's go-to department store, it was an institution. Founded in 1881 by Joseph Lothian Hudson, the store started small but quickly grew into a retail giant. By the 1920s, the flagship Hudson store in downtown Detroit was the tallest department store in the world, boasting 25 floors and occupying an entire city block. Walking through Hudson's was an event. It had everything from high-end fashion to home furnishings, and the experience was unmatched, especially during the holidays with its legendary window displays and rooftop Santa Claus. What most people don't realize is that Hudson's played a crucial role in the rise of Detroit's economy. It provided jobs to thousands of workers, and its iconic annual Dollar Days sales drew shoppers from across the Midwest. One fun fact: Hudson's once had the world's largest in-store book department, attracting readers from all over. But as the years passed, Hudson's couldn't keep up with changing retail trends. The rise of suburban shopping malls in the 1970s hurt downtown department stores, and Hudson's failed to adapt to the shift in consumer preferences. By the 1980s, it was absorbed into the Dayton-Hudson Corporation, which would later become Target, and the once grand store began to fade. The flagship store closed in 1983, and the Hudson's name was officially retired in 2001, leaving behind a rich legacy that Detroiters still cherish today: Ames.
Ames. We grew up with better values.
Ames was the department store where you could find a little bit of everything without breaking the bank. Founded in 1958 in Massachusetts, Ames was originally focused on serving small towns and suburban areas that larger retailers ignored. It wasn't fancy, but it was practical, offering clothing, electronics, home goods, and even toys, all at budget-friendly prices. For many families, especially in the Northeast and Midwest, Ames was the go-to spot for back-to-school shopping or picking up essentials without the high prices of bigger stores. At its peak in the 1990s, Ames had over 700 stores and was known for its regular clearance sales that drew in bargain hunters. A key aspect of its popularity was its accessibility in rural areas, where people didn't have many shopping options. Ames had a knack for moving into locations where bigger stores like Walmart hadn't yet reached, giving it a local edge. However, Ames had a rocky financial history. After acquiring several other struggling chains like Hills and Zayre, Ames overextended itself. Competition from Walmart, Target, and other discount retailers also hit hard. By the early 2000s, mismanagement and debt forced the company into bankruptcy. In 2002, Ames closed its doors for good, ending an era for small-town shoppers who had come to rely on it. Hills.
No cutting corners when you shop at Hills. With the best brands and best prices, we're the store for great family value.
Hills was a beloved department store chain, particularly known throughout the Midwest and Northeast. Founded in 1957 in Massachusetts, Hills had a simple but effective business model: offer quality products at low prices. It wasn't as flashy as some other chains, but it was where families went for everything from toys and clothing to home goods and snacks. Hills was especially famous for its toy section, which was a paradise for kids, particularly during the holiday season when the aisles were stocked with the latest must-have toys. One thing Hills did that shoppers loved was its snack bar. Yes, the store had its own little food counter where you could grab popcorn or a hot dog while you shopped. It made the whole shopping trip feel more like a family outing. Another well-loved feature was the chain's consistent everyday low prices, which kept customers coming back, knowing they could always find a deal. Despite its strong regional popularity, Hills couldn't keep pace with the growing competition from national chains like Walmart and Target. In the mid-1990s, it was acquired by Ames, Ames, which was already struggling itself. This merger didn't save either chain. By the early 2000s, both Ames and Hills had disappeared from the retail landscape, leaving behind fond memories of budget-friendly shopping trips and childhood toy hunts. Zayre.
Come on, take another look.
Get to Zayre and get it all.
Zayre was a discount department store that thrived during the 1960s and 70s, offering customers a wide variety of goods at affordable prices. Founded in 1956 in Massachusetts, Zayre was known for its no-frill shopping experience, just everyday essentials at prices that fit the average American family's budget. Whether it was clothing, housewares, or toys, Zayre aimed to be the go-to spot for those looking to stretch their dollar without sacrificing quality. One of Zayre's most memorable features was its constant clearance and markdown sections. Shoppers loved the thrill of hunting for bargains, and the store became a favorite for families on a budget. Zayre also expanded quickly, particularly in the Midwest and East Coast, and by the 1980s it had hundreds of locations. But while Zayre was once a powerhouse in the discount retail market, it struggled as larger competitors like Walmart and Target started to dominate. The store's outdated look and inconsistent product offerings didn't help, and Zayre couldn't keep up with the evolving retail landscape. In 1988, the company decided to shift focus entirely and sold off its department stores to Ames, rebranding itself under TJX Companies, which is now behind successful stores like TJ Maxx and Marshalls. By the early 1990s, the Zayre name had disappeared entirely, leaving behind only memories of bargain shopping adventures. Burdine.
And meet the great new you at Burdine.
Burdine's was the pride of Florida, a department store that became synonymous with the Sunshine State's shopping experience. Founded in 1898 in Bartow, Florida, Burdine started as a small dry goods store before expanding into a regional giant. By the mid-20th century, it was known as the Florida Store, offering everything from fashion to home furnishings. Its vibrant tropical window displays were iconic, and for many Floridians, Burdine's was the go-to place for stylish clothes, especially beachwear and resort-style fashion. What really set Burdine's apart was its strong local identity. It catered to Florida's unique climate and lifestyle, selling light fabrics and colorful designs that reflected the state's sunny, tropical feel. During the holiday season, Burdine's Miami flagship became a must-see attraction, with elaborate Christmas decorations and festive events that drew crowds from all over. However, Burdine's independence came to an end in the 1990s when it was acquired by Federated Department Stores, which also owned Macy's. Over the years, the Burdine's name was slowly phased out, and by 2005, it was fully rebranded as Macy's, much to the disappointment of longtime shoppers. For many Floridians, Burdine's wasn't just a store, it was a part of their identity, and its loss marked the end of an era in Florida retail history. Calder.
We're everything you're looking for. We're your Calder.
Calder was a regional discount department store that was once a staple across the Northeast. Founded in 1951 by Carl and Dorothy Bennett in Connecticut, hence the name Calder, it quickly grew into a popular chain offering affordable clothing, electronics, home goods, and toys. At its height, Calder operated over 150 stores, mainly in suburban areas, and became known as the Bloomingdale's of discounting due to its blend of style and affordability. Calder was a favorite for families looking for quality products without the high-end prices. Its annual back-to-school and holiday sales were major events, drawing in crowds eager for bargains. The stores were spacious, well-stocked, and conveniently located near residential areas, making it a go-to spot for everyday shopping. Despite its success, Calder faced tough competition in the 1990s as big-box retailers like Walmart and Target expanded into its territory. Struggling to keep up, Calder filed for bankruptcy in 1995, attempting to restructure. However, mounting debt and increased pressure from larger chains led to its downfall. By 1999, all Calder stores had closed, marking the end of a discount retailer that many in the Northeast grew up with and relied on for decades. Stewarts.
Find this royal Christmas treasure now. Where? Where else but Stewarts?
Stewarts was a regional department store chain that once held a significant presence in the Northeast, particularly in Baltimore and the surrounding areas. Founded in the early 1900s, Stewarts was known for its personal touch and attention to customer service, making it a favorite for shoppers who appreciated a more intimate, upscale shopping experience. The store was smaller than some of the major department store chains, but it had a loyal customer base that loved its curated selection of fashion, home goods, and accessories. Stewarts was also known for its elegant window displays, particularly during the holiday season, which attracted locals and visitors alike. Many shoppers fondly remember Stewarts for its sense of community and its role in making shopping feel personal, with staff members often knowing their customers by name. Despite its charm and loyal following, Stewarts couldn't survive the wave of retail consolidation that hit many department stores in the latter half of the 20th century. As larger chains like Macy's and discount retailers expanded, Stewarts found it increasingly difficult to compete. By the 1970s, the store was sold off and eventually absorbed into other larger retail operations, leading to its quiet disappearance from the shopping landscape. Though long gone, Stewarts remains a nostalgic memory for those who cherished its unique shopping experience. Elder Beerman.
Elder Beerman, your store, your style.
Elder Beerman was a beloved department store chain, particularly known throughout the Midwest. Founded in 1883 in Dayton, Ohio, it started as a dry goods store before evolving into a full-scale department store. Elder Beerman was the kind of place where families shopped for everything: clothing, furniture, home goods, and even cosmetics. It was known for offering quality products at fair prices, catering to the needs of middle-class America. One thing that made Elder Beerman stand out was its connection to the local community. Many of the stores were situated in smaller cities and towns, giving them a more personal, homegrown feel. Customers appreciated the balance of affordability and style, and the store became a staple for holiday shopping, back-to-school needs, and special occasions. Despite its loyal customer base, Elder Beerman, like many other department stores, struggled in the face of changing retail trends. The rise of online shopping and big-box competitors like Walmart and Target made it harder for regional department stores to thrive. Elder Beerman declared bankruptcy multiple times, and despite efforts to restructure, it couldn't overcome its financial troubles. In 2018, Elder Beerman closed its doors for the last time, marking the end of an era for many Midwest shoppers who had grown up with the store as a central part of their community. Gold Circle.
Gold Circle, the amazing Christmas store.
Gold Circle was a discount department store chain that was well loved throughout the Midwest and Northeast in the 1970s and 1980s. Founded in 1967 by Federated Department Stores, it quickly gained a reputation for offering trendy clothing, housewares, and electronics at affordable prices. Gold Circle was known for providing quality products that didn't break the bank, which made it a favorite for families looking to stretch their dollars. The store had a lively, modern atmosphere for its time, often featuring large, easy-to-navigate layouts and bright signage. Gold Circle was also one of the early adopters of computerized checkouts, a novelty back then, which sped up the shopping experience and set them apart from their competitors. Their seasonal sales, particularly during back-to-school and the holiday season, were huge events that drew in bargain hunters from all around. However, by the late 1980s, Gold Circle found itself struggling to compete with emerging discount giants like Walmart and Target. Federated, its parent company, began shifting focus to other brands, and as financial pressures mounted, they made the decision to close down Gold Circle stores. By 1988, Gold Circle was no more, leaving behind a legacy of affordable, family-friendly shopping that many still remember fondly today. Riches.
Shop special hours today, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. at Riches.
Riches was an iconic southern department store chain, particularly beloved in Atlanta, Georgia. Founded in 1867 by Morris Rich, the store grew from a small dry goods shop into a southern retail powerhouse. Riches was known for its elegance and style, offering everything from high-end fashion to home furnishings. For many southerners, especially Atlantans, Riches wasn't just a place to shop, it was a part of their identity. Riches' flagship store in downtown Atlanta was legendary, with multiple floors offering everything a shopper could dream of. The store was particularly famous for its holiday traditions, like the Great Tree Lighting Ceremony atop the store and the Pink Pig, a beloved children's ride during the Christmas season. One of the unique things about Riches was its commitment to the community. It was known for extending credit to struggling families during tough times, creating a bond with customers that went beyond simple transactions. It was also a place where many Atlanta families would meet to celebrate special occasions or just enjoy a day out. However, by the 1990s, Riches struggled to maintain its identity amid growing competition and corporate mergers. It was eventually bought by Federated Department Stores, the parent company of Macy's. In 2005, the Riches name was retired, and its stores were converted to Macy's, marking the end of an era for the South's most cherished department store. Gottschalk's.
And remember, when it's a gift from Gottschalk's.
Gottschalk's was a well-known department store chain on the West Coast, particularly in California and the Pacific Northwest. Founded in 1904 by German immigrant Emil Gottschalk in Fresno, California, it started as a small dry goods store and eventually grew into a major regional retailer. Gottschalk's was beloved for its wide variety of products, from clothing to housewares, offering quality goods with a local touch. For many families, it was a reliable, community-driven alternative to national chains. One thing that set Gottschalk's apart was its commitment to small-town America. Unlike larger department stores that focused on major cities, Gottschalk's had a strong presence in smaller towns and suburban areas, making it a go-to shopping destination for many. The stores were known for their friendly personal service and frequently ran promotions and sales that kept customers coming back. Gottschalk's also had a unique niche in selling moderately priced fashion, making it a favorite for middle-class families looking for stylish yet affordable options. It was also known for its strong regional identity, with each store tailored to the local community's needs and tastes. However, Gottschalk's faced increasing competition from larger retailers like Macy's and Target, and the company struggled to modernize its operations and expand beyond its regional base. After filing for bankruptcy in 2009, Gottschalk's closed its remaining stores, ending over a century of serving local communities across the West Coast. Bulock's.
Our biggest sale of the year. Bulock's pre-season sale. Don't delay.
Bulock's was a legendary department store chain that defined upscale shopping on the West Coast, particularly in Los Angeles. Founded in 1907 by John G. Bulock, the store quickly became known for its luxury, style, and elegance. The original Bulock store in downtown Los Angeles was a masterpiece of architecture, offering an experience that blended opulence with top-tier customer service. It wasn't just a department store, it was a destination where shopping felt glamorous. One of Bulock's most famous locations was Bulock's Wilshire, an iconic Art Deco building that opened in 1929 and catered to Hollywood's elite. Stars like Greta Garbo and Clark Gable were known to shop there, further cementing Bulock's reputation as the place to see and be seen. Bulock's Wilshire was one of the first stores to offer valet parking for its wealthy clientele and even had a salon and tea room, making it more than just a shopping trip. Bulock's was also known for its exclusivity, offering high-end fashion that could only be found within its walls. Whether you were looking for the latest couture or elegant home furnishings, Bulock's had it. Despite its prestige, Bulock's couldn't withstand the consolidation of department stores in the 1980s and 1990s. It was acquired by Federated Department Stores, now Macy's, and by the mid-1990s, the Bulock's name was phased out entirely. Though the brand is gone, Bulock's remains a symbol of an era when department stores were as much about the experience as the products they sold. Lazarus.
Only at Lazarus stock-up sale, and only through Saturday.
Lazarus was a beloved Midwestern department store chain, deeply rooted in the history of Ohio. Founded in 1851 in Columbus by Simon Lazarus, it began as a humble men's clothing store and grew into a regional retail giant known for its high-quality merchandise and exceptional customer service. For over 150 years, Lazarus was synonymous with family shopping, offering everything from fashion and furniture to cosmetics and home goods. Lazarus was a pioneer in many aspects of retail. It was one of the first department stores to introduce air conditioning, escalators, and in-store credit cards, making shopping more comfortable and accessible. The store also created memorable experiences for families, particularly during the holiday season. Lazarus was famous for its stunning Christmas window displays, which drew crowds and became a cherished tradition in Ohio. What many people don't realize is that Lazarus played a significant role in shaping the modern department store. The family-run business was known for its innovation, being one of the first to introduce the concept of the money-back guarantee, which became a standard practice in retail. However, in the 1990s, Lazarus began to struggle as corporate mergers reshaped the retail landscape. Federated Department Stores, which owned Lazarus, eventually decided to consolidate its regional brands under the Macy's name. By 2005, the Lazarus name was retired, ending an era for Midwestern shoppers who had long considered it a family tradition. From Woolworths to Montgomery Ward, these department stores were once cornerstones of American life, offering everything from fashion to home essentials. Stores like Gimbel's, Marshall Field's, and Bulock's shaped not only how we shopped, but also the culture of their communities. Sadly, competition, mismanagement, and changing retail landscapes led to their eventual downfall, leaving behind only memories of family shopping trips and iconic holiday displays. perfect. If you remember these stores, share your memories in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more nostalgic trips down memory lane.